So this is not a zodiac reading. This is not a pick a card reading. This is specifically for who it is meant to find energetically. I call myself wavelength tarot because I want to attract people that we're all on the same wavelength. I want to build a community of people where we are all on the same wavelength. So if you're here, it might be because you are on my wavelength. And if you are, like, subscribe, comment, and support my channel because I'm still finding my community. And the first card that we have come out is the Five of Pentacles. So this is like, you've been having a hard time, okay? And you feel like the people that you expect to be able to turn to are not there for you, right? And I've been through this, so I'm not judging at all, but that might just be your sign that when you are in a low point and the people that you feel like you deserve their support and their loyalty because you've been there for them and they're not giving it to you, maybe that's your sign to let those relationships go because they're a one-way street. And we have the Four of Wands, which talks about stepping over the threshold. This is like a celebration of stepping into a new era of your life. And we have the Judgment card. Dun, 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 dun. This is God or your guides sounding the alarm because they have a message for you. A gift for you, really. So this is a really exciting time for you. And it can feel nerve-wracking. Like, I do feel like some anxious energy coming along with this just because new things can be scary, right? Like new energies and new things and new people. It can feel unsafe because it's not your comfort zone. But stepping out of your comfort zone is how you level up, right? And I'm feeling an energy from you that you are a little restless anyways with your old life or your regular life. And you're ready for something new. You're ready to, you want more. You're ready for more. It's time for more. And the thing is, more is coming. And I think subconsciously you are like tapping into that, but it's not showing up yet, right? So that's like where the anxiety comes in. So it's like you feel something coming, but you're not seeing it in your outer world. And here's the thing, like the transformation happens inside of you first, and then it starts to manifest in your outside world. So you're like in that in-between period where your inner self has started to transform and your outer world hasn't really caught up yet. That can be a really weird feeling. That can be like a really weird place to be. And the anxiety really is like, I feel like all these things should be happening for me right now. Why aren't they happening? Does that mean they're not going to happen? Right? And it doesn't mean that they're not going to happen. They're just still getting into place. Like the dominoes are still being lined up. And you have to be patient. You have to hang in there and you have to keep being consistent. Like right now, I was just going to say right now, these cards are not popping out, but as soon as I call them out, I swear that's when they always come out. So this talks about something changing hands, and this talks about a payout. And this usually is a payout that is more than what you are expecting. So the guy that's handing out the money is like by far so much wealthier than the people that he's giving the money to. And he's holding a scale, right? And that always was like weird to me in this card because like, why is he holding a scale? Because there's nothing equal or balanced about him and those people on their knees, right? And it always kind of bothers me, like, why is he making them beg on their knees for crumbs, for coins, right? That always irked me. But if you look at his face, he looks like he has a kind face. So I don't think he's making them get on their knees. I think they're hitting their knees in gratitude. They're hitting their knees on their own, and it's because they're so grateful for what they're being given, and it's more than what they're used to getting, right? So he is being generous and he is sharing with them, and they are appreciative, but there's such a wealth gap there. And I feel like that means you are going to get around people that are much wealthier than you, that are more than like 1 or 2 steps above you or ahead of you when it comes to like wealth, status, something like that. And it's going to make you feel like imposter syndrome, right? Because you're not used to being around people like that. But just by being around them, you're going to get, you know what I mean? Like who you surround yourself with, they're going to rub off on you. Their money, their success, their status, how they do things, like kind of like a mentor, but not a direct mentor, but just like being in their presence is going to elevate you. So if you have that opportunity, do it. And don't let the imposter syndrome feeling or the feeling like you're not as good as them or whatever, like don't let that hold you back. Take the opportunity to be around the people that are so much ahead of you because you can learn from them, or they can offer you opportunities where like to them, it's like, this is normal everyday stuff, but to you, it like will change your life. And we have the Page of Pentacles. This is a new beginning. Like he just got his first real big pentacle, right? So this is you getting your first beginnings on this up level. And then we have the High Priestess. So I feel like what I'm saying is resonating with you, and because you know, right? I feel like you sense all these things coming because you are very intuitive, and you might even consider yourself a psychic. And if you do think you're psychic, I feel like you don't really tell people. Like you might not tell people like your spiritual side because you're worried what they might think of you, but you know things, okay? You know things. And we have the 8 of Swords. Listen, like you are, and excuse the catchphrase, but you are like the chosen one, okay? There is something that is like really hard for other people to do, but for you, it's going to come to you like really easily. So if there's something that you want to do, right? And you've seen other people try to do it and they have failed and they have struggled and they have been like, man, I wasted time. I lost this money. I did this all for nothing. Or, you just seen people try and fail at this thing that you want to do. Well, I'm telling you that it's going to be easy for you. You are not them, and their experience is not your experience. Like think of the sword and the stone, where all the men tried to pull the sword out of the stone and they couldn't do it. And then a little boy came up and the sword just came out because it was meant to come out for him. It's like that. Does that make sense? So you're just about to be so blessed. I feel like it's exciting. It's exciting and you feel anxious about it, and I get it. What's that card? You feel anxious about it, and it's directly tied to experiences that you've had before. Like you've never seen anybody. Maybe it's like where you're from. You've never seen anybody have real wealth, or you know what I'm saying? Like, or maybe nobody in your family, or you just haven't really seen it happen yet. So you think that it can't happen, or your past experiences have just been really discouraging, more than discouraging. I almost want to say traumatic, because like, she looks like she's been through some shit. Like, it's like, what I'm seeing is like she was like kidnapped for ransom, and she just went on this awful journey, and then they released her because they got the ransom, and they're like, all right, we're going to leave her here. We're going to leave her tied up and blindfolded, surrounded by all these swords, but like they're gone. The guys that kidnapped her for ransom are gone. But she's not sure if they're gone. She's not sure if it's safe, because those bandit, like what she's wrapped up in is loose. Like she could wiggle out of that. She can untie herself and she can get out of there. But she's not making the move yet because she's not sure. Like she's still freaked out about what she's already been through. I'm sorry if that's a little too like deep, dark stuff, but that's what I was getting. So, and we have the High Priestess again. You're getting the guide, like the guides are giving you messages. You're getting the guidance. You know what you're supposed to do. You know that your life is about to change. Like, you know that there are certain things in your life that you're going to have to let go of. And here he is again. Look at him looking at that pentacle like, oh my God, I can't believe I have this giant pentacle. I've never had one of these before. And this card talks about you staying up at night and crying and anxious and just, you know, like going over things in your head. And but in the reverse, like you're coming out of that. Your anxiety, you feel it. Your anxiety is starting to slip away and getting replaced with the excitement. Like let yourself get immersed in the excitement and let the anxiety go.